and welcome back to my channel. My name's Andrea the Cumbrian Crafter. I've come on today to show you some stamp sets that I've bought. I bought these after I watched a TikTok live by a lady called Bev, who is from Be Crafty. It's a website called becrafty.co.uk. I'll leave that linked in the description box. And Bev was stamping these doodle art stamps onto card, then she was heat embossing them with clear embossing powder, and then she was colouring them in with some watered down distress oxide ink, or I suppose you could use watercolour as well. And it was wonderful to watch. I really enjoyed it. As I say, after I watched the TikTok live, I went ahead and bought these two sets. I mean, you can understand why I'd buy that one, mushrooms, and I love bees as well. So I bought these two sets. I've been having a play doing something very similar to what Bev was showing. I did pay for these myself, they weren't gifted or anything like that, but I really did want to show you them because I think they're beautiful stamps, and they come on this lovely laminated sheet, so they do stick to the sheet there. That's them there, beautiful stamps. So what I've done is I've had a look through all my stamps and pulled out ones that I thought would work well for this process, and I've gone ahead and stamped them, heat embossed them, coloured them in and fussy cut them out. So I've got this tray here ready to use for card toppers, just ephemera, just to keep in my stash and use whenever I would like. So there's some butterflies in there, there's a larger butterfly there. And the lovely thing that Bev did was use the white Posca pen, and she'd just done dots. I think I've done that before. I've seen Wally Steph maybe does it, but it really does make a difference. I think it really stands out. You can see the little dots there maybe on the centre of that flower. So I've got 3 of those in different colours. I've got a large sunflower. So some of these I've used watercolour paints, excuse me, and some I've used some distress oxide inks as well. Got some butterflies. So this is the Be Crafty ones. That's the stamps, the mushroom stamps, and the bee one as well. And I've got some little houses and a little stopwatch and some. Recognise those from that stamp set I used recently with the moth on. They had the vases, so I've used that one. I've used that one before as well. And there was a door. I've got a heat embossed Hello Sunshine and a Find Me in the Garden. So I'll put some photos on now. There are different stages of me stamping the stamps, then colouring them in and then cutting them out. So I'll put those on now. And what I'm going to do now is, I've got a plain piece of card here. I'm going to use these 2 stamps again, and I'm going to show you the process. So I'll take the mushrooms one first. I'm going to mount that onto the acrylic block, and I'm just going to use First Fine Claire in Nocturne. The card I'm using is this mixed media pad, which I use a lot. That's one side. So I'm just going to ink up the stamps and position that in the top corner like that. Give that a bit of a wipe clean. And then I'm going to do the same with the bee stamp. There we go. Give that a wipe as well. And next I'm going to use the clear embossing powder. This one is Do Crafts Paper Mania one. piece of paper to put under here. I'm just going to cover all of the stamp with the powder. And then I'm just going to shake it up like that. Give that just a little tap. As you can see, the powder, well, you can see in the light, the powder has covered all of the ink. I'm just going to carefully place that back in there. Put the lid back on there. Right, I'll bring this back in, and I'll probably speed you up and turn the sound down for this part because my heat tool is rather loud. There we go. You can see now they're all lovely and shiny. Now what I'm going to do is colour them in. So I have already done the bee there, and I do have a version of the mushrooms there. I'm not coded. I better do them quite similar. And then the bee, well, it's got, I love adding the blue to the wings there. But I think what I'll do now is I'll just show you the Distress Oxide, I think. Let me just get myself organised. So I'm going to bring the glass mat in slightly. I didn't want to bring the whole of the glass mat in because the ring light reflects off it and it's very distracting. So what colour should I go for? Well, I'll have to go for a nice yellow for the bee, so I'm going to use fossilised amber and the Distress Oxide. I'm just going to dab a little bit of that on my glass mat, and I'm just going to spritz it with a little bit of water. I've also got a pot with water in there. I'm just going to have a little wet wipe there just so as it's not too wet. And I'm just going to pick up some of that ink and then start colouring in the bee. I think I will colour over those bits as well. The whole body can be yellow. Looking at that one, I think I did actually colour the head in black, so I'll maybe leave the head. But then I'll take some more ink and I'll try and make it a little bit stronger and add a bit more just to that side. And when that dries, that might create a bit of sort of different sort of shading on this side. Like that. I could possibly have one of these as yellow as well, so I've still got plenty of ink. It goes quite a long way. I'll colour this bottom out, it's getting fainter now. It's just a regular brush, just a tiny wee little brush. I don't know whether you can see how small the brush is. Right, so I'll call that one done. And let's see. Now I think I'll use the blue again. I'm trying to remember which one it was. Could have been Broken China. Let me just have a look. No, I think it was maybe more Salvage Patina maybe, but This is a nice blue as well. And then while we've got all of this blue, I think I'll maybe use it on here so as not to waste it. I suppose I could have gone for the traditional red with white spots mushroom, but because they've got that sort of doodle effect on them, I think it's quite nice just to use colours that you wouldn't necessarily use for or see in the wild. Leave that at that. And then, as I say, I think I did have the black. Let's find that one. So I've got black soot. I just need a tiny wee bit of that. I'm just going to colour in the heads more of a grey. That's okay. Go. And then we need another colour for this one here. A nice bright colour. I've picked raspberry, I think. That's a nice colour. And it doesn't even matter if you go over the lines, because I'll be fussy cutting it out. So you can go over the lines if you want to. Again, I'm just going to add a bit more around the side there, just to create a different bit like this here. There we go. It's a lighter part and a darker part. And then I need something to put in the centre of those. So we'll maybe need an orange. Let's see, we've got crackling campfire. So again, we just need a tiny bit of that. And I won't spritz it, I'll just plenty of water on the brush. Actually noticed I've gone over a little bit into the blue there, and I did that with the other one. And if I clean my brush off and just add some plain water and then just go around there, you can actually just blend that in and it'll disappear and not look as obvious that I've gone over the line. Or maybe give the stems, stalks, whatever they're called. Should know that, shouldn't I? I'll just paint those in orange as well. So that's the mushrooms coloured. I think I'm happy with that. And what I would normally do is wait for those to completely dry before I would add any Posca. I'll see if they will show up. Can't get the Posca pen to work. It might actually be empty now. I use it that much. So I'm just going to add 3 little dots there, maybe 3 there, and 3 on there, and that's all you need. I think that's enough. I think it looks good. And then on the B, I'm just going to do some to follow that line on the head, maybe over the little black hearts on there, little dots on the edge, and then maybe some on there. So what I'm going to do now is I'll go away and I'll fussy cut these out, and I'll come back and we'll make a little card with something out of the tray of bits and pieces. Okay, so I've fussy cut those two out. I've got the mushrooms and the bumblebee. So I'm going to make a card using some of these bits and pieces. So I'm just going to take a 5x5 card blank, and I'm going to take some salvaged patina, and I'm just going to add that to my glass mat. Make sure you can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to spritz that with water, and then with my brush I'm just going to make sure there's none of the square edges from the ink pad on there. And I'm going to take the 5x5 card, I'm just going to rest it over there, and I'm going to lift it up, and there we've got our background of our card. Now for the purposes of the video, I've got one that I done about an hour ago, so I've left that to dry, so I'll leave that one to dry and use that one at some point. So it's curled up a little bit, but it will soon flatten. So I think what I'm going to do is, I've got two sentiments that are both heat embossed. I've got Hello Sunshine or Find Me in the Garden. That's my new favourite stamp at the moment. I love that expression, Find Me in the Garden. I've got this lovely big sunflower which I could use. I could use one of the bees. Those together would be quite nice. Or these flowers I really like. They've got like a doodle look about them as well. So I could have a card like that. That would be nice. Could have the mushrooms, but I like these sentiments fit better with garden things. See, that's nice as well. I think I'm liking the sunflower though. I think if we had the sunflower there and then the bee there, we could leave the bee sticking up and the Hello Sunshine on there. I think that would make a lovely card. So I'm going to stick these down. When my glue decides to come out, come on. Stick it that way there, where the white dots are. Placing up here so you'll be able to see them. And then we'll have our bee there, and I'm just going to glue the centre of the bee. Stick our bee down there. I could actually stamp the actual Hello Sunshine directly onto there, but I like the heat embossing, nice and shiny. I'll stick that down on there. So I think I'm going to carry on and make lots more of these because I think they'll be quite useful. I'll find a place to store them. I love these little moths as well. They were part of the that stamp set that I used for Ashley's Tag Club. They were all off the same stamp set. Beautiful. And so some of them you can just use, you could use your ink markers, you know, your pens, felt pens, or watercolour paint, acrylic paint. Or I used the Distress Oxide. Might even add some stickles, something shiny to the wings. So there we go, a little card. Once you've got these already cut out in your stash, It's really easy to make a card, really quick and easy. So I hope that's been useful. Thank you for watching today, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.